well-oiled CBD watch, watching rugby with a happy heart, and watch out for those CBD skaters.
My name is Christopher Olsen.
And I'm not Christopher Olsen.
Well done. Most people aren't. And you're about to listen to This Week in Sedgefield.
Yay!
It's got to be at this point at least halfway through winter, right? At this point, winter's pretty much, it should be pretty much done now. Hey,
I think we're in the last couple of days of winter.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, no, me too.
Me
too.
But it has been
I
nice
had
rain.
to wear long sleeves the other day.
You weren't able to show the town your forearms?
Yeah, I know. No, I've only got two.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to keep them covered.
On you, yeah.
It was cold. Yeah, it was cold. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, I hope that this rain holds out for a little bit, because the rain has actually been very nice.
Oh, it's been great.
There was some lightning, there was some thunder, and that's always exciting.
Thunderbolts
and
and lightning, and very, very frightening.
Galileo.
Indeed. Yes, Galileo.
But I hope that it doesn't rain on Sunday.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What would happen if it rained
on Sunday?
On Sunday during the skate jam. That's what we're getting to, because
it's come.
It's the 4th
it's
of
finally
May.
arrived. The 4th of May skate jam day,
which is really, really exciting. What if it rains? What do we do? Put on a raincoat.
Have it inside.
It's inside.
In kahunas.
In kahunas.
No, I don't know what the plan is.
Okay, bring an umbrella.
I suppose if it's mild rain, they'll carry on. If not, they'll postpone it for another day.
Yeah, probably just that.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, it's on the 4th of May. It's on the main road, the main service road,
not the highway.
Not the highway. The main service road outside. Stone Oxygen and Kahunas and the other businesses down that road.
Yes.
It starts
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Registration. Registration is 10 a.m. Is that right?
Registration is at 10 a.m. Okay. And the thing kicks off at the competition starts off at 11.
Oh, good.
As far as I know, it's free to register. All ages come along.
Yeah, a lot of great competitions. Really something for everyone.
Yeah, and news just in.
Oh yes, this is breaking news.
Well, it's not news for you, because I've just asked you a few minutes ago.
Well, that's why it is news for me.
I normally do the announcing because
you did the emceeing last year, yeah.
Yeah, my vast knowledge on skateboarding things.
Oh, look, he fell. Oh no, he's fallen. Can someone get him a plaster?
Crime, who's well, what one might say that her piece de resistance is actually knowing less about skateboarding than me.
That's amazing.
So that's a real big claim to fame. That takes some effort. So she had to cancel. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris, the man on the other mic, who knows something about skateboarding.
Yes.
He's drawn me a picture or two.
Yeah.
He's going to be the other person on the microphone on Sunday. So
I'm looking forward to that.
We'll be. I think maybe we can do a live skateboard podcast.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we can.
Can a podcast be live? I don't know if it can.
I don't know if it can. Let's see. I mean, I'm technically live.
Better than a dead one.
Yes. Technically, we're live right now.
Yes, we are.
Although
we are. Absolutely.
You never do quite know. Oh, really looking forward to that. That is going to be very, very good.
Isn't it just?
It's not the only thing that's, let's say, happened in the CBD.
The CBD.
Yes, and I'm not referring to what you think I'm referring to when I say CBD. I know where your mind goes immediately because I've read Ted's Head.
Oh yes, CBD.
Not the CBD oil,
not the smiley oil.
Yeah, the Central Business District, because we do actually have a Central Business District.
We do.
Like one of those big.
It's sort of a long flat centre running along the main road.
It's what most people think Sedgefield is.
And when they drive through.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you think it is.
I used to do that. Yeah, drive through and go, ooh. Well, no, it is. And it's actually got much better now. There's so many. Oh, it's like Neisner used to be. So many quirky little clever little shops.
Yeah,
we
just getting
talked
better and better,
earlier
yeah.
about Stoned Oxygen, a very, very Sedgefield brand.
It's made a big difference. That sensor has really done so well.
That's great. A brand born and bred in Sedgefield. It's great to have our own fashion entrepreneur there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got
very cool.
Kahuna's, which is also
local range,
and then,
beautiful.
And going right along this
well, just next door, almost next door. I know we got Dolphin Stationers, but we've also got the salon by.
Yes.
Oh, I've forgotten her name now completely.
Okay.
I'll
Is her
remember
name
it
completely.
Yes. Yeah. And then
is
she
it a
does a good
double
job.
barrel? Lee
But
is
a really great salon, and they do nails and they do all those things. Also locally run. She grew up through the whole time. She got married like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So
but even all over the CBD, there's been lots of new little restaurants and galleries opening.
Yes, that's very nice.
Yeah,
By Feinbosch.
I mean the Feinbosch up that way, Feinbosch coffee shop. There's like 3 or 4 galleries in a row, it seems, and it's
fantastic.
It's great. You would think, but they must be in competition, but they're not, because if someone knows there's 3 or 4 galleries in a row, they're going to go there and go to all of the shops.
Yeah, we should open a mall.
I've been to. I went to a place in UK where it was almost the whole town, tiny little village.
Yeah.
Was bookshops.
Oh, really?
Second-hand and new bookshops.
Oh, that's
People
fun.
came from all over the country to go there. It was like a bookshop haven.
Oh, interesting.
So you think competition? Well,
no.
It brings people.
Yeah, no, you had a reason
absolutely.
for it. Okay, but back to the CBD.
Back to the CBD.
What we were sort of talking about, plus minus.
It was in the paper. The CBD
was on the front
thief
page.
caught on camera. So he wasn't stealing CBD. He was breaking into places in the CBD.
Okay, like into shops and
into
things.
shops, stealing stuff and whatever.
Okay.
He was caught on somebody's security camera, and it was a guy who had been in Sedgefield before, wasn't a local. Then went to Neisner and then back to Sedgefield. But he had been all over the country.
Whoa!
Well, I don't know about
on
all
a
over,
tour.
but various places
Sold
in the
out
country.
tour.
And the thing I didn't put in the paper, because I didn't know at the time, was that he had outstanding arrest warrants. So he'd been stealing.
Outstanding. He'd been doing so well at it.
He'd been doing
like,
so well
done. You got an outstanding
stealing
warrant.
that he had an outstanding police record. Yes, one of the best.
Yeah.
So it was quite amazing that he was caught in Sedgefield, and they. Yeah, someone had him on their security camera.
CCTV
then they used other security cameras in the CBD to see where he went. There was the security companies chased him at one stage.
Whoa.
Then there was police got involved.
Yeah,
I've heard that there was a story about paddling across the lagoon find him.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
that's exciting.
Eventually, they got him.
Movie coming out in 2026.
He stole a microwave from Mobile Meals. Can you believe it?
No.
That lovely charity that feeds lots of people.
Oh my goodness.
He stole their, there's a song about we gotta restore microwave. He stole a microwave.
Unbelievable. Well, that's so good to hear that he was caught, apprehended, all of that.
And with outstanding warrants, it means he'll go to jail. He won't be released. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really, really good. I know there are some people, I've heard at least one person who's like, why do we need all these cameras? And cameras is bad and, all that.
They really do help to chase the movements of people.
That's it.
To check. And there's a couple in town that are number plate recognition cameras.
Yes.
So that's also cool. Like if some car's been involved in a crime in Neisner, they could just program look for this number and it'll
actually bring it up.
And it has worked in the past. They've caught people further down the road because they know they've just driven through Sedgefield. Amazing stuff. Really,
very, very cool.
Technology is good.
Technology can be good.
Yes.
Absolutely. We'll speak about that a little bit later about how it can or can't actually be good.
Yeah,
but for now, we've got some other eyes around town. In fact, there is a whole group of witness news. What is it? ENW.
It's ENW.
But ENW for Island.
Island.
How do we get to that?
Island It is the island, Sedgefield's Island, but
Yeah.
they call themselves as in wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, yes.
Island Neighborhood Watch.
They got clever about it.
yeah.
All those lots.
So they were worried about the signs, that signs of discontent. No, signs, road signs on the island were in a very sad state of disrepair. So they raised funds and they replaced 28 road signs on the island.
Whoa.
Hey, woohoo!
Good job. Yeah, that's cool. That makes a big difference. Yeah.
Then there was also a problem with road markings. You know those lines across the road at intersections?
Yeah,
that
the
says
ones that say top. So
top,
you should drive there and
Or
then
pots.
pots.
They're telling you to slow down and pause before you cross the road.
And pause. I've missed that part. Why didn't they write that in there? I should have known about that.
Yes,
The rest of us in town
Try
have
and
missed
slow
that.
down to sort of 50 k's an hour as you zoom across the highway. Now, the stop streets, basically.
Yeah.
So Revive Sedgefield, who we all know and love, had offered to paint the road markings.
That's good.
Because the municipality were unable to because they didn't have the paint.
Yeah.
So Revive Sedgefield said, well, we'll paint them, but because they had the training, remember? But they also didn't have the paint. So the Island Neighbourhood Watch also put in funds for road markings.
Oh, cool.
And then, gets very complicated, and then the municipal guys said, oh, no, if you've got the paint, we'll do the work.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is very cool.
I
mean,
you actually like to hear that because it's not just them going and saying, cool, well, you guys are doing the whole job.
You do the whole thing. They're saying, they stepped in
this was the obstacle.
We'll do this. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Because you told me a story of a guy in, was it Aberdeen?
Oh, yes. Oh,
it wasn't
that's right.
in Scotland, Aberdeen.
No,
it was
it may
South
have been.
African Aberdeen.
But there was a councillor in Aberdeen, there in the Karoo, small Karoo town, who was on the municipal council, and he had just enough of faded road markings and parking spots that weren't painted nicely. So he just got himself some paint and painted it. But in November of last year, then they actually took him to court. Which backfired a little bit.
Yes,
unfortunate.
That's not great.
So I don't.
But I think that he painted it one way flow of traffic all the way from his house to the council chambers where he worked.
Yeah, a big
so
reserved.
So he had no stop streets at all,
and all of his parking spots are all reserved with his name on it. That would explain it a little bit more. Yeah. But this was the right way around. Now that the I
it's
people
great
did
that Sedgefield's work. And while we're on that subject, okay, we're recording this on May Day Eve.
Yes.
The day before May Day. Because May Day tomorrow is a public holiday and we've got commitments, not the movie, family commitments. Yeah. And so we're recording this on Wednesday, so it's May Day Eve, but it's going to be released on Friday May Day, morning. Boxing Day.
Yes.
Yes, the day after May Day.
Boxing
Friday.
Day for May Day.
But tonight, so Wednesday evening, is the town meeting for Ward 2.
Yes.
So these are things that we're going to talk about. The municipal team doing what they want to, what they need to do. We've got quite a bit of pressure, good pressure, from the
Dune group.
The Dune group, the people living on along the Fraser Street, Groenfurley area.
And Begonia especially. And
watching, once again, the structure building on top of the dune that there was a court order to stop, but they're not being stopped. Law enforcement, well, you're on the group. They've been quite active.
They have. They're quite an active bunch, jogging all over and all that.
Yes.
No, so they have been. There have been reports. People file it on the Collab app. I think I'm saying it correctly. The Collab app with taking photos exactly where it's happening,
where the houses are being built,
where the houses are being built. Even so much as there'll be photos of guys who are clearing vegetation, and then they send that off and say, "Hey, there's stuff happening here illegally. Can law enforcement get there as soon as possible, please?" And I think largely being quite kind about it and quite helpful about it. But then there have been, especially with public holidays and days when law enforcement is probably not in full force. There's only like one guy, which would then maybe be dangerous. They're not able to get up. And there were also some riots in Neisner. They weren't able to get up at that time. Which as soon as there's a moment, guys start to build. And then it goes crazy. People are building. Can law enforcement get there? And then it's been awesome to see and very encouraging, I think, for a lot of people in this area, especially, and just in our town who've seen that those structures have been taken down before being occupied. But there was one that was put up over the public holiday on Monday.
Oh, yeah, and they was instructed to take it down, or the law enforcement took it down, hey, and then it was rebuilt.
And it was rebuilt, right. And put up
and
again.
And then someone was in there, staying in there.
And there was, and it's one where I'm really torn. My thoughts aren't landed on this at all. Yeah. But the photo that was kind of sent alongside it from law enforcement, and it's just on the sand dune with these kind of, tin walls, and then you've got some kids on a bed.
Kids sitting in there,
And
it must be tough for law enforcement as well, because they're human. They don't want to throw a family out.
Of course not.
Yeah.
None of us do. None of us do. But it's not a safe place.
Yeah.
And it's not a legal place. It's not legal for a reason.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping at the town meeting tonight, the Groenvolle residents will come along in force, because as I've mentioned in a previous podcast, the MM municipal manager did suggest that we would have local law enforcement officers based in Sedgefield, so that they can come.
Yeah, the drop of a hat.
You can imagine when a lot of the building goes on is on days like public holidays, weekends and whatever, because that's when people are off work.
Exactly.
So we can't really say, well, law enforcement are off duty today, because that's so it's a
not quite
it's
the same
real
job.
Dichotomous situation.
How's
that for a word?
Hey, isn't it?
Dichotomous.
And it's a complex one, isn't it?
It is complex.
Very, very difficult. So it is illegal. Hopefully there are going to be from this, like you say, that's one of the great conclusions, and fencing off, getting people in safe areas, getting the housing sorted.
Identifying more land that can be built on.
Before it does go wild, and before it does turn into just another one of those stories. But let's talk about something that is, I don't know if it is specific to Sedgefield, but it's something that you mentioned, and I have no idea what it's about. Egret season. Can I go and hunt egrets now?
No, don't do that.
So I should put them back in the air after I've got take them out the freezer.
Egrets are all about catch and release.
Okay.
Okay, so a bit of background. So firstly, egrets normally don't roost in big trees.
Okay.
They're normally in smaller structures, trees,
very discerning,
right over the water and what have you. But over the last quite a few years, probably the last, I would say probably since time began.
Oh, there we go.
Not that long
since
back.
egrets began.
We've got a few huge trees on the island, on open spaces in the island. Non-indigenous trees, I think they're eucalyptus and blue gum. That sort of thing. And the egrets have chosen to roost and nest in these trees.
Interesting.
Which is fine, but what happens is the trees get so full of egrets and egret nests.
Yeah.
The stench under the tree from egret dropping.
From stinky egrets.
Stinky egrets.
I didn't know egrets are stinky. Stinky egrets.
Well, it's because there's hundreds and hundreds of these birds.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And they got it. There's no sort of toilet at the bottom of the garden.
So we need to get them in ablution block. Okay.
Yeah. So and things like chicks falling out of nests and dying on the floor.
It happens, it's not nice,
all that sort of thing, because it's really, really overcrowded. They make a lot of noise. They create. They create something I've heard referred to as bird dust. It's like feather dust from bird
very
feathers.
Very allergic-y kind of stuff. Yeah,
it does really affect people's health, especially in that sort of quantity. Whoa. So what happens is, it's happened also at Montage in the past, that sort of village, Montage village and what have you, is they choose a tree, and that's the nesting tree or a row of trees.
And they'll get in on it.
Outside someone's property.
Whoa.
It's really, really hectic for those people. If it's inside their property, it's even worse. But if it's outside, so if it's inside their property, they can normally get permission to cut the tree. Now, herein lies the problem. You're not allowed to cut the trees down if it's nesting season.
Oh. And it's
as far as
nesting
I
season.
know from Cape Nature.
Yeah.
Because it's also not nice because
Yeah.
there's nothing there. But the only time you find out that the egrets have moved in is egret season. They're right.
Whoa, all in.
And people have, strangely enough, I had one gentleman come and see me years and years ago.
That is strange.
Telling me
Yeah.
how his wife had got so sick
Yeah.
because this tree was right outside their property. They weren't allowed to remove it. The municipality wasn't removing it because it was full of egrets. He had letters from his doctor and all that saying the reason his wife
Do
was sick
something
was
about it.
because
Yeah.
of this.
Sure. He took a lot more steps than I
He
would
wasn't
have.
allowed to cut the tree down.
Whoa.
And eventually the municipality cut it down once the egrets had left because they had their nesting season.
That's
and
helpful.
It's over. It's
you
to
got a
stop
free
it
tree cut
happening.
down. It's stop it happening again.
The following year because they will go back to the
Oh,
same
do they
tree.
return to the same one?
So this is kind of followed right along that Jan van Riebeek Avenue. They've had them right along there.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, the same gentleman came to see me about 5 years later at the edge, complaining that somebody wanted to chop down the blue gum tree just up the road from him
Yes.
when it was full of egrets. And he was saying,
I
the
can't do
egrets
that.
were here first, you can't cut
Oh,
that
no
tree
way.
down. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, don't you remember?
Do you remember?
So that's a thing
Okay.
that happens in Sedgefield over the years. I think they've got their finger on the pulse a bit more now. So they kind of look out for likely egret nesting places.
Okay.
And
Well, if
make
we
sure they get prepared. But you do have to get hold of Cape Nature.
Okay.
There's been meetings on the road. I've been to
Yes.
meetings where people are shouting at one another.
Really?
Because obviously the further
divisive
away
egrets.
from the tree that you live,
Yes.
the
this
more
is
inclined
true.
you are to save the tree and think of the poor birdies living in there.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's other birds that nest in there. We've had a Goliath. Heron.
Heron, yes. Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful
Yeah,
bird
I've
living
seen
in
that,
the tree.
yeah.
But the Goliath herons make Goliath droppings as
Yes.
well.
And noise, man. Those,
So it's normally the people who live closer to the tree saying, cut it down!
Yes.
And the people who
through
live
sniffles
2 blocks
and
away
watering
going,
everything.
don't
man.
touch our trees.
Yeah.
But we the reason I bring it up is in our last paper we had the green column, we call it the green column.
Yes.
The Driefalein sort of green column
Yeah.
talked about the importance of trees in Sedgefield.
Yeah.
Making sure that you plant them in the right place, because if you don't plant them in the right place, then you try and prune them because you've got no more sunlight coming through your lounge window and all that
and
sort of.
got a
and it
long-term
kind of hurts
investment.
the tree, and it's not So the importance of planting them in the right place, the importance of looking after them, the importance of knowing that the tree outside your property isn't up for grabs, as in you can't go and cut bits off it. You have to get the municipality to do that. But equally, the importance of saying to the municipality, hey, dudes, this tree is causing mayhem. Please, can you come and trim it? Or whatever.
I've been invaded by
so
them.
that's what brought to mind the egret season.
Yes. Okay.
It's quite something. It's quite
being,
something to behold.
Being conscientious of all of our surroundings. And that's interesting because there are a bunch of invasive species sort of what would be qualify or what we would consider to be unwanted trees.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And then what's really great is a couple of groups, I don't know if it was the Island Conservancy group or other groups, they put up structures in and around the water for egrets to roost and nest on.
Yes. Okay.
Because that's where they normally do. Yeah, you'll see them there. So that's great. That's a good sort of answer to that.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
there
if the
are
egrets do nest there.
If they received the telegram.
Yeah, maybe the blue gum
got your new house ready.
Blue gum's got like a sort of a CBD smell
Oh,
about it.
yeah,
Who knows? Maybe it makes them chill.
yeah.
Hey, dude, the baby's fallen out the nest. We'll do another one.
Any more where that came from, love. Don't you worry about that. Okay, I think we've actually only just got a bit of time to speak about the Eagle Stars.
Oh, the Eagle
For now,
Stars, yeah.
yeah.
So they're due to play this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yay!
And they're playing in Sedgefield. Okay, brilliant. Okay,
I don't know the time. I think it's 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Okay.
That's normally the time.
Yeah.
I'm just a little worried.
Did you? Okay.
Because they're playing a team.
A big. I mean, this is rugby. A big
This is
vicious
rugby,
team.
yes,
that,
Eagle
You know,
Stars.
strike fear into the.
Yes.
You know, with the Eagles.
Yes.
Who was the soccer one last week? Was it also Eagles? No,
No,
wasn't the Penguins. No one can
it
even
was-
put that on there because
Yeah,
that's too terrifying.
The Black Eagles, I think they were.
Okay, it
called.
was something like that.
Or the Neisner Eagles.
Good.
That was
Yes,
the soccer
terrifying
team,
names.
yeah.
Okay, who are we playing?
But they're playing. I'm just having a look here. They're playing a club called. Oh, just don't shiver in your boots now. They're
Okay.
playing a group, a team called the Happy Hearts.
Don't laugh. You're not
I'm
allowed.
trying not to laugh. I'm a little worried because
Are you?
maybe this is a.
Does it really strike at the heart?
Imagine losing to a team called the Happy Hearts.
No, we can't have that. Can't
yeah,
have that.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
No, they should
many
be
friends.
called the Brave Hearts or
yes.
the Lion Hearts.
Or the kick you in the hearts.
Yes.
Heart tacklers.
Yes,
The
yeah.
heart attack.
The heart attacks.
The heart attacklers.
Yes. But no.
The Happy Hearts Club.
The Happy Hearts.
I want to know why they're called that.
Yeah, I really I wouldn't play for a team called the Happy Hearts.
But would
Anyway,
you play
let's
for
hope
some other
that
teams?
The Pick and Pay Eagle Stars,
Yes, come on.
Sedgefield. Woo!
Let's
Let's
go.
hope that they annihilate those Happy Hearts.
I really also hope so. Those are
Yes.
such exciting games to see. You've been to a few now. I've only got to one.
Well, I've been to two.
Two. Oh, two. Okay, that
so
counts
yeah,
as a
we're
couple.
hoping to go along on Saturday.
Saturday,
If we're not bogged down with skate plan
Oh, right, 'cause there
organising
is-
things, but I don't
Yes.
think so. I don't think that will be a problem.
Yeah, surely all
But
sorts.
yeah.
I don't know, they've been building ramps and things like that from
They
weeks
have,
already.
yes, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
which is really,
not,
really
not
cool.
the rugby team.
No.
We're not allowed to have ramps.
Not the Happy Hearts Club.
No. So we don't know where the Happy Hearts are from, and give them all the respect that they do.
No, we absolutely do. And
we,
we would
hope,
say-
we just hope that they are unhappy hearts.
Yes.
Miserable hearts.
Yeah.
After the match. Yes.
Oh man, would you say this with them in the room? I don't know.
It depends how big they look.
Yes.
They probably are quite
They
big.
are probably this okay.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Maybe I should edit that out.
Yes, I think
go
you
Happy
should cut
Hearts.
that
We
out.
know
Go.
that you are
We
excellent.
love you,
in
Happy Hearts.
but also go Eagle Stars. You can do
even
it. Come on,
more
Pick
so,
and Pay
even
Eagle
more so.
Stars. Okay,
Okay.
But that does it for us for this week.
For this week, yes.
Yeah, we didn't get on
Have
to
a happy May Day. And to all our listeners, we hope you had a happy May Day. We didn't talk
We
about...
didn't speak about social media things. We mentioned
Should we do that next time?
Yeah, let's talk about that
we
next time.
want to talk about social media and its effect on
Everyone.
children.
Especially.
Children,
all of us, teens,
teens,
the ones
yeah.
who are the most vulnerable.
Yeah, teens,
in it.
pre-teens, and whatever.
So if you're interested
we're
in
going
that,
to talk about that next time.
if you're interested in
It's
that, if
very
you have kids,
important.
if family,
Yeah.
it's really, really for all of us a
Yeah.
really good one to process through and think through.
Okay.
But that about does it for this week. Let us know if you've got egrets around you, how you feel about
Yes,
them.
yeah.
What else did we speak about? If you're on the island news watch,
Neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch. Thank you very much. If you're on that, if you got any opinions about this, if you saw the CBD thief, whatever
Yeah.
it is, let us know. It's always great to hear from you guys out there.
Absolutely.
But as always, Bomber, thanks for the chat.
Thank you. It's been real.